Talking to yourself. You're not crazy. You're just holding a staff meeting with yourself. Smart people often process thoughts out loud, not to perform, but to think better. It's like having a co-pilot, except the co-pilot is also you, and kind of a smartass. Einstein reportedly mumbled to himself constantly. Kids do it when learning, and athletes use self-talk to boost performance. Psychologists call it externalized metacognition. We call it giving your brain a voice memo. You're basically debugging your own thoughts, out loud. It's weirdly efficient, like troubleshooting with a really sassy assistant who never takes a coffee break. It's how you work through complex decisions, rehearse conversations, or untangle ideas like a human corkscrew. Talking out loud shapes your thinking, like building a mental blueprint line by line. It also helps with memory. Studies show that saying things aloud improves retention. That's why people talk their way through exams, packing lists, or IKEA furniture nightmares. Caught talking to your toaster? Relax. Some ideas just need an audience, and sometimes the smartest person to consult is you. Empathy for objects. You apologize to a chair when you bump it. You name your car. You feel legit guilty tossing out that old mug, like you're abandoning a loyal sidekick. This isn't just cute, it's evidence of high emotional intelligence, weirdly focused on stuff that doesn't even know it's involved. This kind of anthropomorphism, the tendency to assign human qualities to non-human things, is linked to creativity, empathy, and social intelligence. It's the brain projecting feeling onto the world. Pixar made $1 billion empire out of this idea. But for some, it's next level. You're not just pretending your stuffed animal has feels, you actually feel like it does. It keeps you connected. Your world isn't empty, it's full of meaningful characters, even if most of them don't technically have a pulse. Studies show this trait is stronger in people who are imaginative and emotionally tuned in. Basically, you're a walking emotional sponge, soaking up the energy of anything with a surface. Which makes sense, because it takes serious emotional bandwidth to worry about the feelings of your refrigerator. Feeling like an outsider. You speak the language, but somehow always miss the vibe. You laugh a beat too late. You question things others take for granted. You notice the social rules, instead of being ruled by them. What looks like distance is actually detail. You're tracking the pattern beneath the noise. This isn't just social awkwardness. It's the byproduct of cultural frame switching, a trait common in people who move between worlds, literally or psychologically. Smart people often hover at the edge of belonging, which makes them excellent observers. You don't get lost in the sauce because you're studying the recipe, and maybe silently judging the chef. You spot those hidden assumptions, tiny micro behaviors, and all the weird architecture holding human interaction together. Sure, it can feel lonely out here on the edge. Maybe you're not on the guest list, but you've still got the clearest view of the room. And that outside perspective often becomes insight, because when you stop trying to fit in, you start seeing what doesn't. And what you find, when you're at the margins of the map, is that sometimes the most original thinking doesn't come from the center, it comes from the fringe. Emotional investment in abstract concepts. You cry over injustice, lose sleep over contradictions, get genuinely upset when someone abuses the word literally. Ideas don't just entertain you, they pull you in, shake you up, and leave you replaying them like arguments that never happened. Highly intelligent people often form strong emotional bonds with abstract concepts: fairness, truth, beauty, logic. These aren't just ideas, they're emotional anchors, and when one of them gets distorted, it hits hard. It's why you get heated in debates, why you can't just let it go, and why a single ethical contradiction can ruin your day. Philosophers call it moral intensity. We call it caring. Maybe a little too hard. But that's the cost of having a mind that doesn't just think, it feels its way to the truth. You don't just want to understand the world, you want to believe in it. And when that belief is violated, your brain stages a full-on, Oscar-worthy protest. And while it can make you seem intense, or even pedantic, it also means you live by your values. You don't just know what's right, you feel it, down to your core. Preferring text over talk. You'll write a beautifully worded message and dodge a phone call like it's a surprise test you forgot to study for. Spoken words rush. Written ones wait for you. Writing gives you time, space, and a delete key. Smart people often prefer it because it lets them clarify and refine complex thoughts without the pressure of someone's breathing down the line. In conversation, ideas can feel slippery, but on a keyboard, you can pin them down like butterflies. Introverts do this. Thinkers do this. Anyone who wants their words to reflect what's actually in their brain does this. Think of it less like hiding and more like structural engineering for your thoughts. Talking is improv. Writing is design. Plus, there's a power in asynchronous communication. You get to control the pacing, the tone, the clarity. For a sharp mind, that's not a preference, it's a requirement. And let's be honest, written words can be edited. Spoken ones, not so much. Intense reactions to injustice or hypocrisy. You see someone cheat the system, and your whole jaw tenses like it's bracing for impact. This isn't just moral outrage. It's a sign your value system runs deep. Smart people often develop complex ethical frameworks, and when the world violates those rules, it's not just wrong, it's personally offensive. You might rant, or spiral, or suddenly become the unofficial whistleblower of your friend group. It can look dramatic, but underneath, it's a high-res moral compass reacting to a world with no clear map. You don't just see what's wrong, you feel who it's hurting. And while it can be exhausting, this moral sensitivity is also the engine behind social progress, reform, and at least 1,000 awkward dinner conversations every year. It can make everyday life feel like a minefield, but it also makes you someone who fights for better. You don't just want justice, you require it, like oxygen for your soul. Being too sensitive. You read the room like a seismograph on caffeine. You catch tension before it even says hi. You know the joke's fake, even if everyone else is rolling on the floor laughing. Some call it being oversensitive. You know better. It's just advanced social radar. Highly intelligent people often have finely tuned pattern detection systems, including the emotional kind. That weird look, that shift in tone, that one-word text reply that definitely meant something. You're not imagining it. You're translating microsignals most people blissfully miss. It's like being fluent in a secret language no one bothered to teach you, a blessing for analysis, a curse at parties. But this sensitivity also makes you a sharp communicator, a careful friend, and the one person who always knows when someone's lying about being fine. It also means you get emotionally overloaded faster than most. Your radar never turns off. And while that can be draining, it also means you spot danger, opportunity, and every weird vibe in between. Honestly, you're basically a human lie detector, party mood thermometer, and team vibe whisperer, all wrapped up in one. Long, deep, silent phases. You disappear for hours, stare out the window, forget to respond to messages because your brain's doing something sacred. Thinking, like real thinking. Smart people often need incubation time, not procrastination, but germination. You're building mental castles, running simulations, crafting arguments so tight they could win a debate without you saying a word. To everyone else, it looks like you're zoning out, or maybe just dodging life. But inside, you're in full-on cerebral construction mode. This internal processing isn't laziness, it's prep work. And when it's done, your insights hit like a surprise power-up in a video game. Suddenly everything clicks. So if someone calls you too quiet, just tell them, silence isn't empty, it's loading. Oh, and that aha shower thought, or that genius idea on your daily walk, that's your brain dropping finished work you didn't even know you were making. In a noisy world, stillness isn't just calm. It's a secret superpower. Collecting strange obsessions. You dive headfirst into bizarre obsessions, like read every article, watch every YouTube, build a spreadsheet level obsessed. One week it's Icelandic grammar. The next, it's mushroom farming. You don't dip a toe, you cannonball straight into the deep end. This isn't a casual hobby. It's full-blown cognitive curiosity on steroids. Highly intelligent people often fixate on niche topics because their brains crave depth. It's not enough to know, you need to understand. This trait's been spotted in everyone from Darwin to Janelle Monáe. Innovation starts by chasing down the weird threads nobody else is paying attention to. You turn random trivia into entire internal universes. You build curiosity cathedrals that would make Indiana Jones jealous. Sure, this might make you the weird one at parties, but it also makes you the person everyone texts when they need that impossibly specific fact nobody else knows. Making up private systems. You've invented your own way to organize notes. Your personal color code looks like secret spy language. Your calendar? A solid conspiracy board vibe. This isn't just quirky OCD. It's structural intelligence doing its thing. Smart people build custom systems to tame the chaos. It's not about neatness. It's about making sense of the madness. These systems reflect deep, abstract thinking. You don't just respond to the world, you restructure it. And while your methods might look unhinged from the outside, they're often brilliant under the hood. Some of the most effective people in the world don't follow mainstream productivity hacks. They build their own. It's not a mess. It's a masterpiece in disguise. We explain a lot around here. Subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next.